We have everything we could ever want in this province. We have all the resources we want. We've got a well-trained, well-educated population. We have all the potential, but it is hopelessly managed.
To underscore that point, BC Conservative leader John Rustad chose Vancouver's Crab Park as the launchpad for his campaign on the mainland, a place that simultaneously offers sweeping views of one of the continent's most prosperous harbors and a tent encampment.
The question is, are we going to fight for a future, or are we going to continue to manage decline?
Saturday morning saw many of the broad strokes of the Conservative platform: ditch the carbon tax, new investments in healthcare, and changing the way Victoria manages treatment for addiction. But if you wanted details, like how he'd pay for all of that, there wasn't much of that Saturday. When citing specific numbers, those were mostly reserved for the NDP, criticizing their $9 billion deficit. And then this figure, he says, speaks to the cost of living.
Last year, 72,500 people left British Columbia, a record in British Columbia's history.
One topic where he was definitive was on our report from earlier this week about the NDP government's now paused plan to change the way Crown land is governed and share power with First Nations. Eby last week accused Rustad of trafficking in conspiracy theories on this. Rustad chuckled at that and laid out his stance.
And to my opinion, the government of British Columbia needs to retain being the final decision maker on behalf of all British Columbians. We need to work with First Nations to address title.
For a man who a year ago was on nobody's list of viable challengers to David Eby's NDP, Rustad and his wife Kim then strode off into a campaign he says will be historic. In East Van, Paul Johnson, Global News.